Why does my recorder squeak? I'm Mr. Klotz, and in this video I hope to help you find an answer to that question. There are mainly 3 reasons for a squeaky recorder. You might have a finger leak somewhere, you might be blowing too hard, or you might have condensation bubbles trapped on the inside of your recorder. Let's start with the number 1 most common reason: finger leaks. A finger leak is when you might think you're covering a hole all the way, but you might be leaving just a little bit of a space in one or more of the holes. In order to check for this, you might play in front of a mirror, you could record yourself like I'm doing right now, or you could do the donut test, which has nothing to do with eating donuts, although that does sound pretty good to me. The donut test is when you're covering all of the holes for a certain note, and then you squeeze and hold for a few seconds. And then when you let go, you should have circles or donuts that go all the way around your fingerprints and your thumbprint. If the circle doesn't go all the way around, you might have a finger leak. In that case, try it again until the circles go all the way around. Also, make sure that the circle is on your fingerprints, not your fingertips. So we want to cover the holes with flat fingers, not curved fingers as if you were going to play the piano. Cover the holes with flat fingers. It's also very common for a finger leak when you're switching from note to note, especially if your fingers are a little on the smaller side. When you're trying to reach down to this hole for G, you might accidentally be leaving a hole open here or here, so check for that. A second reason for a squeaky recorder is blowing too hard. So I want you to think about this. Pretend your finger's a candle, light that imaginary candle, and breathe with slow, gentle, warm air, just enough to make the flame dance. Don't let it go out, just make it dance. Now use that slow, gentle, warm air and play a G. Now if yours sounded like this, that means you probably were blowing too hard. And don't breathe so gently that it sounds like this. You want to give it a little bit more air than that. Also make sure that you don't have too much of the mouthpiece in your mouth. Just the tip of the recorder mouthpiece should pass in between your lips. It shouldn't touch your teeth. It should look like this. And now the third most common reason for recorder squeaks is condensation bubbles. If you've been practicing a recorder for 10, 15, 20 minutes, you might get condensation bubbles, also known as spit bubbles, trapped on the inside of your recorder. To get rid of those spit bubbles, put the mouthpiece to your mouth as if you're going to play, and then inhale or suck up those bubbles like this. It'll get rid of them every time. Well, I hope this was helpful for you, and I hope that you don't give up because you're making a squeak here and there. I hope you practice every day because music is so much fun to play. I always want to encourage you to keep on making music.